In Unit 15, we are continuing to shift towards more of a geometry focus. Some of the things that we talked about in Unit 15 should be reviewed, and some things might be new as well. So in Unit 15, Part 1, we're talking all about triangles. Before we get into actually solving anything with triangles, we're going to talk about classifying triangles. Now, we classify triangles in two ways. We classify them by their side length, then we classify them by their angle measure. So first, we have the three different ways you can classify a triangle by side length. An equilateral triangle has three congruent sides. So if you look here at the picture, all three sides are 5 inches. So that makes it an equilateral triangle. The key part being this equal part, all the sides are equal. An isosceles triangle has at least 2 congruent sides. So if you look at the picture that I drew, these two sides are both 6 feet, which make it an isosceles triangle. And then the last type of triangle by sides is a scaling triangle, which means that no sides are congruent. So that's how we classify them by sides. We can also classify triangles by their angle measures. An acute triangle has 3 acute angles. So just a reminder, acute means less than 90 degrees. So an acute triangle has 3 angles that are less than 90. Now I drew a triangle with 3 angles that are exactly the same. They don't have to be the same to be acute, they just all have to be less than 90. So the next one is an obtuse triangle. An obtuse triangle has 1 obtuse angle. Obtuse means greater than 90 degrees. Now, if you think about it, a triangle adds up to 180 degrees. The 3 angles add up to 180 degrees. And you have to have 3 angles. So you can only have 1 obtuse angle. You can only have 1 angle that's more than 90 degrees. If you have 2 angles that were more than 90 degrees, it has to be a different shape. You'd be over 180. And then our last type of triangle is a right triangle, which has 1 right angle, which is a right angle is exactly 90 degrees. So that's what this box right here represents. If you have a right triangle, the other 2 angles are going to have to be acute, going to have to be less than 90. So when we name triangles, we would actually use both names. So we would use one of the 3 names from the sides, equilateral, isosceles, scaling, and then we'll use one from the angles, acute, obtuse, right. So for instance, this triangle right here would be an acute equilateral triangle. Acute because all the angles are less than 90 degrees, equilateral because all the angles are less than 90 degrees. So we use 2 names for the triangle. Alright, looking at the bottom, it says find the angle measure. The directions say find the value of x, then classify the triangle by its angle measures. Okay. We know that a triangle is going to add up, all the angles are going to add up to 180 degrees, so that's what we're going to use for these problems. So for number 1, I know that my 3 angles will add up to 180, so my first angle is x plus 20. My next angle is 2x, and my third angle is 133. All of those are going to add up to 180 degrees. So now we're just solving equations like we did halfway through the year. So x and 2x can go together, so that gives me 3x. 20 and 133 go together, that gives me 153. That's going to equal 180. So now I have a 2-step equation to solve, so I can subtract 153 on both sides, and I'll get 3x equals 27. I can then divide by 3, and I'll get x equals 9. So that's the first part. The first part is to find the value of x, which we've done right there. The next part is to classify the triangle by its angle measures. So in order to find my angle measures, I just need to plug in 9 for x. So my first angle was x plus 20, so that's going to be 9 plus 20, which is 29. My second angle is 2x, so that's going to be 2 times 9, which is 18. And then my last angle is 133, which they gave to me. So I have 29 degrees, 18 degrees, 133 degrees. This is an obtuse angle, which means I'm going to have an obtuse triangle. So the value of x is 9, and then my triangle is an obtuse triangle. Alright, let's look at the second example. We get all 3 of these angles are going to add up to 180. So I have 72, 9x, and 6x minus 12. All all that adds up to 180. I can put my x's together, that'll give me 15x. I can put my constants together, that's going to give me 60. Sorry about that, that's going to give me 60 equaling 180. Then I can subtract 60 on both sides. So I'll get 15x equals 120. I divide both sides by 15. And I get x equals 8. Okay, so that's the first part of my problem, is to find the value of x. Now I can plug it in to figure out my angle. So I already have to know that I have 72 degrees. I have 9x, which would be 9 times 8, or 72 degrees. And then I have 6x minus 12, so it'll be 6 times 8 minus 12, which is going to equal 48 minus 12, which is 36. So I have three angles that are less than 90, so it's going to be an acute triangle. Alright, the third one I'll leave for you. Find the value of x, and then determine if it is an acute, obtuse, or right triangle. On the back side it says finding angle measures using a ratio. The question says the ratio of the angle measures of a triangle is 11 to 14 to 20. Find the angle measures, then classify the triangle by its angle. So, for each of these numbers in the ratio, we're just going to add an x to it, and we're going to add them together. So 11x plus 14x plus 20x, we know our triangle adds up to 180 degrees. I add all those x's together, and I'll get 45x equals 180. I can divide both sides by 45, and I'll get x equals 4. So I found what x is. Now I can find my angle measure. So I'll just take each part of the ratio and multiply it by 4. So I'll get 44 degrees. 14 times 4 is going to give me 56 degrees. And 20 times 4 is going to give me 80 degrees. All these triangles are less than 90, so that's going to be an acute triangle. Moving on, it says finding unknown side lengths. So we dealt with angles. Now we're going to look at side lengths. It says find the unknown side length of the triangle given the perimeter and classify the triangle by its side length. So when we're doing angles, we knew that all the angles added up to 180. When we're doing side lengths, we have to know the perimeter in order to make this happen. So for a triangle, you know, if we add up the three sides, we'll wind up with our perimeter. If you look at my first one, these little tick marks mean those are exactly the same. Now we don't know what they are, but since they're the same, we can call them both x. So x plus 26, that's my three sides. It's going to add up to 64. So that'll give me 2x plus 26 equals 64. Subtract 26 on both sides. I'll get 2x equals 38. And then I can divide both sides by 2, and I'll get x equals 9. So the direction said to find the unknown side length, then classify the triangle by its sides. So we know both of these sides are 19, and before we even knew that, we already knew that this would be an isosceles triangle. I have no idea if I spelled that right. An isosceles triangle because they have two sides that are the same. For number 2, they give us the perimeter of 93, so I know that when I add my three sides together, so x plus x minus 6 plus 31, it's going to equal a perimeter of 93. So it'll give me 2x plus 25 equals 93. Subtract 25 from both sides. I'll get 2x equals 68. When I divide by 2, I'll get x equals 34. Then I need to classify it by its side length, so I need to figure out what the other sides are. So this is 34, and then 34 minus x is 28. So I have three sides, none of them are the same, so that's a scaling triangle. Alright, number 3 I will leave for you guys to do. On the bottom, we now have a ratio problem dealing with side length. Since the ratio of the side length of the triangle is 4 to 7 to 9, and it says the perimeter of the triangle is 125 classify the side length, we can classify the triangle by side length. So just like we did with angles, when we're doing the ratio, we just add an x to each of these. Okay. And our side lengths are going to add up to our perimeter, which is 120. So when I add all those together, I get 20x equals 120. So I'll divide by 20 to get x by itself, and then x equals 6. So now to find the side length, I can just plug 6 in for x. So I'll get 24, 54, and I skipped over 7, which would give me 42. So 3 sides, none of them are the same, so that's a scalene triangle. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you at 15 part 1. Let me know if you have any